You're first on the agenda.
Okay.
Don't- yeah.
Good morning.
I want you in a big picture.
I don't want to get a big. Are we on?
We're going, we're up and running.
I just wanted to get you guys' opinions on something. It's not that big of a deal, but it is to me kind of in a personal matter. The Kiowa County Register of Deeds has had heart surgery and is going to be out of the office for a long time. And her deputy is fairly new, and they are still in a big mess from the tornado. So my district, the South Central Register of Deeds Association, just is going to start sending someone once a week. Or there's going to be somebody there every day, but we're going to alternate days of the week. And I just wanted to let you guys know or see what you think about me going. It's not going to be, it would be like probably once every 2 weeks that I go.
You'll have plenty for your office.
Yeah, Susan can come in. So I just wanted to let you guys
Yeah.
know.
So you're gonna be, so she's gonna be laid up quite a while.
She's gonna be out for a while, plus their office has just been a disaster since the whole tornado. They're working out of a pod. But seriously, it's a trailer, and their office is in a trailer, and all of her books are in another, they call them pods, which are a block away.
Yeah,
So-
get you exercise on.
Yeah. They aren't, and they don't even know when they'll be back in the courthouse. So we're just all gonna help her out.
I think it's it.
Okay, that's all I have.
And you don't have a problem with her driving the county car down there?
Uh,
That wasn't that your main question?
Well, I thought about it, but it's
I
not.
seen you
not-
had the county card, that's what the county card.
No,
was.
that's actually for my district meeting on April 11th.
Okay.
But you don't want it to take down there?
Oh, I'd use it if possible because I'm kind
You
of
guys
without
have
a
a
vehicle
problem
at the
with her doing
moment.
that, if
Think so.
nobody else is using
I
it?
don't think
Okay.
so, no, I think it'd be,
All right,
talk about something.
all right,
All right,
thank you.
thank you. Lisa?
I'm just here to.
Okay. What else we got out there?
Darren, is Mike here?
Is Darren out there?
Darren's here. Ron, are you gonna wait for Mike?
Well, I was planning to, but.
Oh, okay, well, let's,
Thank you very much. Morning.
morning.
Good morning.
Just want to let you guys know, we received our first check from RC&D Recycling, Harper, for the first quarter. It was at the tail end of the quarter, it was about $58, something like that. And Friday, I received the second quarter check from RC&D Recycling. And it's for basically about 15 ton for the last quarter that we recycled, 954.
Good.
It's like say,
954.
It's a big check.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
say-
well, it's just a copy. Yeah. It's already been deposited, but yeah, it's just a kind of a copy.
Say, it doesn't pay the county, Reno County, in there, it was,
Big check, yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
that's
was for what time?
Cardboard.
That's for everything, yeah, cardboard, plastics, of course, you know, the brands mostly, and, you know, the paper products,
Right.
the weight volume.
Yeah.
I seen Saturday was by there, they had the recycling building open.
Yeah, I opened it Saturday and Sunday, and Philip called the lady and reported it being open, and she was glad it was open.
So,
You know,
he mentioned he's gonna try to maybe open it up, if he's
Yeah.
gonna do something else on weekends, so people could use it, it's kinda nice if you didn't.
yeah, especially in bad weather.
All right.
Okay, now I need to clarify something, I had it wrong in the minutes. April 5th is your household hazardous waste trailer?
Yes.
Okay, see, I had it May because I misunderstood.
Oh.
But it is April 5th.
Yes, April
And then your cleanup week is April 28th through May 3rd.
5th. Yes.
Okay. I'll get that in there right
Okay. All a few tons of recycling down there, right?
Yeah, carpet.
Yeah.
Why, you know, it's nice to get something out of it and, you know, help cover costs.
Right. I'll pay with fuel maybe.
Yeah.
At least we're not paying for it twice, we paid that.
Well, that's all.
Okay, thanks, Darren.
All right, thank you much.
You bet, we'll see you.
No, wait, they're not up. till
Okay, we'll-
8:45.
Little recess. Do you, probably just, but do you have anything else right now this morning? Okay, recess. And your name, you said, what?
Elliot Briggs. Like I said, I work for the Department of Commerce up in Great Bend. I came around last week kind of talking to people about, economic development programs and things like that. And they said, you guys kind of administer your own here. I'd just like to offer my help, basically. If, now we have through the Workforce Center, Kansas Work Center in Great Bend, we just got a new program, and it's to help people look for workers, basically. What we're running on right now, in Barton County, the unemployment rate is about, let's see, it's 3.3, I think, for last month is what it was. And they're about the same as surrounding counties, which means, according to the Fed's way of figuring things, everybody is employed that is eligible to be employed. So the problem we're dealing with right now is companies don't have access to employees for the most part. Now, we're seeing it really bad around our whole area here, especially in old technical type of jobs, electrician and things like that. So we've kind of started a recruiting effort all over the state. If, anybody with a business, if they're looking for employees, if you kind of steer them towards this, I'd appreciate it. I'll give everybody a copy of my card here, and I'll leave some extras also. To get into our program, if they want to register as an employer, all they got to do is the name at the top up there where it says Kansas Works, just add www to the front and then .com to the end of it, and that's the way they get in and register. And any problems getting in, just have them give me a holler and I'll be glad to help them. Anything where new businesses are coming in, now, I also heard that you're going to get involved in the Main Street project too.
You've had a Main Street project too.
Oh, you have?
But Stafford's
Okay.
involved in the Main Street
Yeah,
project right
I'll
now.
go talk to the lady this morning. that
Over
was
Stafford
saying
now,
that
right?
was-
At Stafford?
Yeah. And anyway, I'll talk to her about and offer her my help too, but basically, we have access now on new companies that are starting. Most of our training funds are through the WIA program, like OJT programs, half splitting work, like splitting jobs for part-time work and things like that. We can make any kind of arrangements that people want, basically. Also, we've got a lot of money available right now through KIT and KER programs, which is their state program. If people are adding just one new employee, they should be eligible for those programs. We've got access to funds now to help start new businesses. If there's going to be a capital outlay of more than $50,000, we can come up with matching funds usually when people are starting a new business and things like that. So a lot of little things like that we kind of coordinate. Now, we don't dump these on the business owners either. We do the paperwork, we do the running back and forth and get everything done. Basically, the only thing they need to do is put a name and date on it. And, everything else we do. We've got our area supervisors also working closely with Topeka as far as coordinating KIT and KER, getting the people to come down here and talk to the business owners and so on. So, like I said, basically, I'm just here to offer my help.
Okay.
If there's anything I can do, if you need answers to questions, things like that, my job now is to be of help to county commissioners, Chamber of Commerce, economic development people, just anything I can do. So, tie up my time, I'd be more than happy.
Very good.
So, anything I can do, have them give me a call. And, one lady over in Rush County over there said she says, you guys got a new barbecue place. Would you stop by and get me a barbecue sandwich on the way? We even provide those services.
You accommodate, huh?
You said, our unemployment here is about 3.3, is that right?
You say, yeah, unemployment.
Is that risen any lately as the numbers went up?
It's went up. It was in December in Barton County, it's 3.1. You guys out here, you've ran, yours fluctuates. Yours goes up to 3.5 to 3.6 and then comes back down to 3.3. It just goes up and down all the time. Barton County raised a little bit. We had a few more available, but it kind of goes on the graduation phases of the college. You know, basically, when those show up in the numbers, you know, we show a little more. We do quite a bit of work with that too at the different colleges, trying to find people. What we're trying to do is get them to stay in this area, you know. And the young people that graduate and go to the cities now, you know, they usually wait until they're about 35 or 40 and want to come back home. Well, we're trying to keep them from going in the first place. And think about it, if you look around out here, what we've got to offer people. Because, you know, if you stop in this area, we've got good schools, and that's, I see that, I give that kind of a blanket thing, because I don't think we got any bad schools in this area. We, oh shoot, there's just so many things to offer out there with the hunting and the fishing and so on. And basically, I was in the Navy for 26 years, so, you know, me and my wife were ready to keep away from large towns. You know, we found the smallest town we could find. We moved into Bush. And, you know, the mayor told me when I moved in, he said, we try to, you know, we keep our population right at 200 every year because it kind of works out that way. Every time a woman is expecting, a guy joins the Navy, so it works out pretty good. You know? But, you know, we can offer a lot to people to stay in this area. And, you know, you'd be surprised if you want to get into our program, look around at some of the wage data from around the state. When it comes to technical people like linemen, electricians, electronics technicians, our pay scale out here isn't that much different than what it is in the city. And the city is to cost 3 times more to live than it is here. And I've been mugged in quite a while. And I'm real happy about that. But anyway, just keep it moving. Anything I can do to help, I don't know about you, but I have. Whether it's covered or not. Okay, appreciate you doing. Call and probably do it anyway. So,
Thanks.
okay.
Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, guys. Andrew. I guess I can leave these and just anybody that,
All right.
anybody comes in.
Thank you very much.
Give me a holler. Thanks, guys.
Mike and Ron.
Let's stay on.
How are you guys?
Fine. Good morning.
You get the 2 hot seats.
That'd be fine.
It's the only 2 we have.
As long as you don't throw anything, I'm in good shape.
Nita does it. Oh, she does.
We're short-handed this morning.
Yeah.
We have one of them not here today. We've got your information that you left with us here. And who's going to be the spokesman?
Well, we're basically here to, you do have the handout, just
Sure do.
to talk about the country club. You know, we feel it's a great asset to the county. It brought a lot of people into the county just in the last couple of years. We've hosted numerous high school golf tournaments, regional league tournaments, hosted the cross-country meet. The economic impact I think is way more than what people realize. I think the golf course is a diamond in the rough. A lot of people don't know about it, they don't know it's there, and I think that with some equipment, a little bit of help and update, then we don't compromise the integrity of that golf course, and it's gonna do nothing but grow. The golf course is able to cash flow and handle itself on a day-to-day basis, but we're not able to.
Any capital improvements, you can't afford that.
Exactly. You know, the current board, and we had kind of a revamping of the board this year. They're making a lot of strides in how do we market this place? How do we get more people here? How do we make it more accessible for out-of-county people? How do we make it more accessible to in-county people? And how do we just let the world know it's there? We're talking about putting a sign out on the highway.
I think that'd be beneficial to have a sign out there.
Just a lot of different things we're talking about. But that still doesn't solve our immediate problem with equipment. You know, it helps in the long term, it helps us be able to sit there and say, yeah, we're gonna be able to make it, but we need some help, just updating the equipment. I think, once we do that, I think we're back on.
You think you can get the membership back where it needs to be, and the outside, you know, other players coming in from the outside playing, that you can go ahead and sustain itself all right if you get the additional people in there? You don't, the membership's down quite a bit, as you said.
The membership's down, but we're fighting the same thing Maryville County is fighting. The average age of this county is against us.
Declining population.
Declining population. But yes, to answer your question, I think that with the necessary, you know, marketing change, that, and with the changes on the board, get the membership, we can get the additional outside play, it just, but like the well breaking down or for the day-to-day stuff. Or mowers needing fixed and stuff that, and these are problems that we're not concurred, you know, we didn't take those on overnight. You know, 30 years ago, maybe we should have been doing something different, but we weren't. That's, you know, hindsight's always 20/20.
A lot of members 30 years ago.
Yeah.
120, 130.
I've been a 40-year member, so I'm sure.
Last year, we had approximately 500 rounds of golf played by non-members. You know, that number kind of shocked me once I started digging, and I think that and that was with no marketing. I mean, we haven't done anything to promote ourselves at all. We've kind of just gotten by because we're good old boys and everybody plays golf out there, and we haven't done anything to help ourselves in the last few years. And I think that's changing.
But this is a one-time thing you're looking at for assistance, is that right, or what?
Well, if you guys wanted to give us a Christmas present every year, we would not turn it down.
I don't
Yes.
I think we might have no problem with taxpayers.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully, yes.
I mean, if you can raise this money, maybe not just through us, but have you talked to other organizations about this? You know, there's some other charitable organizations around too, that the whole county, you know, the benefits, you got the Oddfellows, you got the, have you talked to cities too about maybe them?
We haven't talked to cities. So Oddfellows, they've pretty much curtailed their giving. They've cut it way, way, way back. I know that just from the new Crime Stoppers, going to them for money there. They're, I don't know if they gave too much in past years or what, but they're not willing to donate.
And what was the restrictions that you had that you changed now?
Well, the 3 time you couldn't play, we did away with that. So in-county can play as many times as they want to. We adopted again that coupon book where you play 10 rounds for $100 for outside of county people.
The course is open. Essentially, the course is open. You pay the green fees.
The advantage to being a member, you've got your cart storage, you've got, and if you play a lot of golf, the
You don't have
membership
to
is
put
still
money
cheap
in
enough
it.
that it's still
Yeah.
money ahead to be a member. but we have opened it up to,
Okay.
So you're wanting to see what we could do maybe to help you out on the situation, is that correct on this? We do have a industrial development fund, I think, which is kind of going from
Economic
the
development.
economic development, I'm sorry, economic development. And how much you're looking at these costs down at the bottom, these are anticipated costs down about what you think you're gonna have to fund this.
yeah, with that list right there, we are in good shape. Like I said, I think we can sustain ourselves with the changes we're making for cash flow.
Until the next time we need to replace equipment.
Well,
But you
but
must,
my thinking there
If
is,
you get the membership, if you get the people playing golf out, you should be able to have enough cash flow to take care of it.
well, and now, if you update equipment, now you can buy a new truck and the engine blow up tomorrow, so nobody knows what's gonna happen. The thinking is, you update all that equipment, and then you start doing what should have been done 30 years ago. Okay, a little bit here, a little bit, keep putting some money back for that rainy day that we never have done. So then when it's time to replace a mower 5, 6, 7 years from now, we've got the money to do it. Or the well breaks, 5 years from now, the well breaks, we've got money to do it. We've got to start, we as a club have got to start doing things a little different than we've done in the past, and we realize that also.
but your most critical right now is the water well.
The well is the most critical. And the mowers could be, they can be just like the well. You know, once we start,
Right.
once we start to
No,
get
it's-
green, every one of those things is, they're old. And one of those blows up 45 days from now.
But you said the schools are in a position to help out any on this, they use it for their, you know, I like, they've got a golf team now that they play, they
They
did
do
quite
pay
well.
an annual fee.
Yeah, they do pay us,
Oh, they do?
Yes, they do, $600.
they paid us $600 last year.
Yeah.
And, you know, we are gonna talk to them, we don't wanna want them out there. It's a source, we get 2 or 3 members every year because the kids are on the golf team, so mom and dad join the club. But if their budget allows them to where they can give us a little more, we're sure gonna pursue that, but they did give us $600 last year.
And what about it's good for the whole, I mean, I look at that as an asset for the whole county and stuff, and that's why I wonder maybe the city might want to, you know, maybe they can consider
Well, we're,
participate up with them too, but they're just asking the, you know, just the county taxpayers, of course, it's all tax money, but if the institute is just getting out one fund here.
And I think that's what we're doing, is asking the cities too, I just don't know how flush they are and what.
Yeah. I do think, I agree with myself personally, and so forth, I think it's an asset to the county, and we don't have a whole lot of places to draw people to the county. And then when we get them out there and play golf, they might stop somewhere and.
Well, unless they're gonna eat or fill up
If
the
you
other
fill
car.
up gas or do something out there, so we need to hang on everything we've got around here, try to keep our.
Well, the thing that always amazed me, there's never been a sign out on the highway.
Right.
You know, you go to other, you know, I refer to the one out at Halstead, they got a little sign out there about this big with an arrow pointing. And there's nothing, you know, we've been trying to keep it a secret, I guess.
But we have been a private club, and now we are opening the membership up, opening up the membership and green fees to anyone who wants to pay the green fee.
Well,
That's the major difference.
our biggest problem is, we ran it like we were Augusta National. You know, we didn't want anybody. When all
And you
along.
didn't get anybody.
Exactly, and all along, we should have wanted some people. I mean, Prairie Dunes is pretty exclusive, but if you wanna pay 200, they'll welcome you to come play one round. You know, so we should at least make it where people know we're there.
Well, I've had people before ask me if they think it's pretty nice looking. And send them out there, and they, of course, well, play golf on.
Oh,
It's kind of a fun, challenging little course. You know?
Well, and that's where we're at. It's a super course.
After they get out there and play once, they come back and say, wow, that was fun.
And we don't wanna compromise that.
Mhm.
We wanna keep it where the greens are nice, the tees are nice, the fairways are nice. You go to the Kinsleys, the Larnards, the Sterlings, anything that's comparable. And this course is far and above nicer or has the potential to be better than any of those. But if you don't have the proper equipment to take care of it, it could also be the worst golf course.
Well, you speak of the Kinsley and Sterling Monitor, how are those, who owns them? The city own them or what?
From what I understand, they're all getting help from, with the aside of maybe Sterling, I don't know. But I know Larner gets help
From the city?
from city.
It's city owned, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, so the city owned it.
Kinsley, I'm not so sure if it's not county or city that they get some money from, but they get help. Sterling might too, I don't know.
That's gonna benefit them too, that's why I think they're
Yeah.
probably participating at the cities and stuff, that's why. You said you hadn't talked to cities about this yet.
And they do have Parks and Recreation departments. We can't make a decision because we're short one anyway, but,
Well, I could sit over there and
Yeah.
vote if you want.
Well, smile on camera when you do it.
and hold your name.
Well, I guess as a start, we will go ahead and discuss with Mr. Seward when he gets back. And you say you are gonna approach the cities and see what you can come up with them too, if they're interested in helping out. You said, and what about the other schools? St. John's plays, but not paid. Does any other school use it out there? Does Stafford use it? Anything else? They don't have any programs.
St. John has opened theirs up to where if any Stafford kids want to play golf, they can come be part of that golf team.
Oh, right, that's good.
Which, the way the state's set up, there's some sports you can do that, some sports you can't do that. But they've opened it up to where Stafford kids can come over here and be part of the golf team.
Really?
I don't know if we got any takers or not.
That's
Do
good.
they have a girls' golf team here? Or is it just a boys' golf
Just
team?
the boys.
I wonder why they don't have a girls' golf team.
I don't know if they just don't have the, I don't know.
Well, they have cross-country things out there too, I think, don't they?
They have at least one cross-country meet. Stafford,
Do you get any revenue from that?
don't know.
I'm not aware of any revenue from the cross-country.
Because I know that they have to shut the course down, so they lose money in what green fees they would have gotten on that day. I just wondered if they do get.
And I think Stafford's the only one, I know Stafford uses it for their cross-country meet, Stafford High School. I don't know, I don't think St. John uses it. But it'd be worth,
Cross-country, St. John? I thought they did.
they may, I don't know. I just know Stafford has to meet there.
No, I'm not- I love it.
I'm not aware that St. John has a cross-country meet. Stafford has a
Okay,
cross-country
you're
meet,
right.
and St. John.
Okay. St. John goes to, that's what it is. I know since
Well, I think you guys are off to a good start, and we'll have to pursue what funds we have and see if we can help.
Appreciate it.
And I'm glad to see that the bylaws have been changed. I know there's some that say, well, if I can only play 3 times in a season, then I'm not even gonna go out there even one time, so.
But I think that means that we lose a lot to Sawdales and down, crap people go down there because they can't come out here and play. So we're probably losing some money down there today. And just we'll keep it.
And I
here,
think
so.
marketing is very important.
I do too. You said you talked about some signage in. Got to get permission from.
That's the biggest thing is find out, you know, if we put it there at the rest stop, is that state owned, who do we have to talk to?
You're gonna have to talk to people to put signage up anymore, and it's pretty restrictive what you can put up, I'll guarantee you.
As long as you don't, as long as you stay on the other side of the boundary of the orange post and get
No,
permission from the landowner.
Not necessarily.
Well-
more restricted than that, you can't just put a sign up on, even on private property anymore.
Philip can tell you, I think you go through Great Bend, KDOT.
And then you have to go through the P to get permission to do it, so there's a procedure you have to go through to get it.
Well, yeah, and then there's the size and this.
They've taken away all the signage along the highways, they just, unless it's municipal or city or something like that, you don't have much opportunity to do it.
But it's, I think we'll be able to do it when we just find out.
I think so.
Whatever
I think-
hoops we have
I
to
think-
jump through, just.
I think something like it's gonna be, if you can prove it's gonna be county-wide benefit, then probably do it.
You can help us with that.
All right, yeah, well, I'm the help as I can. I'd say, I'd like to see, like I told you, I'd like to see it stay here if we can. I think it's pretty important to the community to have it. But what we're restricted, but we can do it here, of course, you know, we got taxpayer money, and we're gonna be pretty cautious and pretty true what we do with it, so. But we do have, like I said, the one fund that we use to help out each year on the fair booth and things like that, so there's some in there that we can, with discretion, can use some of that, I think. All right.
Any and all help would be appreciated.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Do you want us to come back at the next meeting and your full vote?
I don't know. Fill in, leave what's going on, or
Yeah.
please sure you mean.
In the meantime, why don't you talk to the cities?
Yeah, I have some, see what you've got to come, if you talk to them, then we kind of know where you're at on that, on them too, that give us more knowledge what we need to hear.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
See y'all.
Anybody else out there?
No, Jason was, but I don't see him now.
You have something here, so you need to,
Yeah, I do. On my mowing ad, I got 3 bids.
Did you?
All right.
You wanna look them over and then?
Yeah,
decide?
we'll recess.
I need about a 15-minute executive session to discuss non-elected personnel. That's the only reason I'm here this morning.
All right.
I make the motion, we go into an executive session for 15 minutes for non-elected personnel.
Second motion, all fair say aye.
Aye.
Sure.
Executive
Turn it
session.
off? Yeah.
Just, I said a long time ago that anytime we made a big response outside of the county to go help somebody else out, that the next time I saw you, I'd let you know what we did. The other day, you probably already heard that they had a really big fire in a little town called Coates, which is south of Pratt. That day, we were in what the National Weather Service calls a red flag warning, which is kind of like a tornado watch, but for fires. It's what happens anytime that the relative humidity is below 15% and the winds are greater than 25 miles an hour. And we had 2 small fires that day. And I had talked on the phone earlier to Mark McMahon, who's the emergency manager down there, because we have a really good relationship with Pratt County as far as sharing resources and them helping us and us helping them. And
Well, don't we have signed agreements with them too?
yeah, we've got signed agreements with everybody, but I would say that his and ours is just extra special. I mean, they're just really helpful when we need help. And they, what I didn't know at the time is that they sent most of their folks in the county to help south of them in Barber County. They had a wildfire that burned about 7,000 acres. Most of their resources were down there when they started getting calls for a fire at the south end of Coates. And when the first unit got on scene from Coates, he said that there was 2 houses fully involved and 3 more that had caught on fire. All told, the news was saying 2 houses destroyed and 2 damaged. I think that's occupied, because I think some of the other houses weren't occupied. But the best count we had is there were about 8 buildings that had major damage. So we sent them what we could without endangering our folks here. We sent them a tanker from Stafford and a brush truck from here, and myself. And our tanker stayed there in Coates and supplied water. And myself and the brush truck, we were not there very long when they had a call for another large fire on the northwest side of Pratt. And they really didn't have any resources left. So we went back to Pratt and fought this fire. And it was just a real perfect example of why we do mutual aid like that, because that could have been us. And that fire in Pratt, it burned up into the yard of 6 different houses, and not a single house was damaged. So it was pretty remarkable that we were there. There definitely would have been a lot more property lost, or maybe even lives lost, if it weren't for us being there.
Right.
And I guess the coincidental thing with that is that one of the fire calls we made right before we went down there was just west of Seward. And a power line arced and burned up the guy's yard and field, and we had a really hard wind out of the south. Well, if that wind would have been blowing just as hard out of the west or out of the southwest, in less than 5 minutes, that fire would have been in the backyards of everybody in Seward, and we'd have been in the same situation. So it so easily could have been us that day. And I wish I had pictures, and I wish I could put them in the paper here so everybody would understand why we're so serious with the open burning right now. Because there's so many people that just lost their houses and their property over something like probably a discarded cigarette, something simple as that. And so sometimes I know that what people burn when they want to, it's people don't like it when we don't let hear that, but that's what we're trying to prevent, is something like that happening here. So
We've had assistance from the other counties around here too before in fires, haven't we? I mean, it's
several times.
oh yeah, they've come in and helped us out too, haven't they?
Yeah, if we get south of Maxville, the next closest fire station is Byers in Pratt County. If we go a long way south to St. John, it's Iuka, and if we go south to Stafford, it's Preston. And we have agreements with all 3 of them. They'll come our way at the drop of a hat. Just the other day, we had a fire far, far north off of 281, and we had a tanker from Great Bend that brought us water. A few weeks before that, we had a fire north Hudson. Well, it's been a couple months, and we had 3 trucks from Ellenwood that come in. I'd say that the trade-off of us leaving the county and people coming in is probably about 50-50. It's a really good system, and we're fortunate that we have good neighbors.
Makes more sense than sitting in one county and watching somebody's house burn down just across the road, and you can't go there because you're not,
And
you can't leave the county to help someone else out.
And I mean, and even within our county, our guys have been doing a great job here lately. And even within our county, if St. John makes a fire and calls for help from Hudson, you know, they get out there and work side by side. If Stafford makes a fire and calls for help from Zenith, they get out there and go after it. I mean, everybody has just really pitched in, and our guys have spent a lot of hours fighting fire in the last few weeks.
It's been pretty dry. We're gonna have to, well, maybe we'll get some rain, get started greening up, starting to be spring, so hopefully it'll start getting a little more green before long.
Yeah, you can, the areas that have been burnt that I've gone back to and looked, they're starting to green up already in the black. So we're not too far away from that. Our problem right now is until some of the dried and cured fuels like the heavy CRP and stuff, until they either get burned off safely or it gets a lot wetter, you know, we're still gonna have a lot of problems right there. So,
Okay.
all right. Nice talking to you all.
Yeah, thank you. Anything else right now? Anything for you? Go recess. What can I do for you, Jeff?
Well, I wanted to just give you a heads up. Hopefully next Monday, I'm gonna come in here with some figures. I want you to know ahead of time that I'm gonna come in and ask to hire an extra deputy. We can't continue to try to cover the county with just 4 of us.
You're talking about full-time on that?
Right. There's a lot of, I mean, the crime rates went up everywhere. There's new crimes, and we can't possibly cover the county. So, but I'm looking, I mean, there's a lot of, it's not just the fact that you'd have to vehicle, you've got insurance, you've got keepers, and probably the biggest thing is gonna be, right now, we don't fall under FLSA laws because there's only 4 of us. If I hire one more person, we'll have to start paying overtime, and, I mean, it's gonna cost more money, but,
Well, you don't have a budget for this year, do you, to
No.
do this?
I don't. Sure don't.
So are you gonna try to put together some figures to bring in,
Right.
so we
Right.
have an
But
idea?
I just
what-
wanted to give you a heads up, so I don't just come in here and drop the bomb on you.
No bombs, please.
Okay. And I didn't know, I haven't heard from any engineers or anything, are they coming to?
Neither way.
We haven't either. I'd like to get something rolling, you know.
Yeah.
Who needs to check their deep?
I don't even know who's coming.
I don't know either. He was gonna get a hold of them and let me know.
The one we had here,
That was, Vince was gonna contact the guys that they were in Wichita.
Right, that's the last I've heard, last time we had the meeting
Well,
up here.
Yeah, and then we kinda waited a month or so before we said to go ahead and contact the engineers, so it's probably another month goes by before they come.
Okay.
Maybe they'll show up today.
I guess as soon as they're done, then I can get a hold of some contractors, can look at it, or?
well, got any plans, because we're gonna have some plans, so they know what they're gonna bid on it. what they're gonna do.
Probably the architect will send out, I mean, that's what we're paying him for.
Right. Okay.
And he'll send out letters to contractors and they can come in and bid, and then we'll accept and hopefully get started by year 2010.
Okay. Well, just let me know whenever I can.
And we might be able to move in by 2011.
12.
Yeah.
The way it's going.
Okay.
But that's what I perceive, that, I mean, if we have him under contract, the architect will be the one who will contact. So I think, you know, once you, me, the rest of us have approved the plan, then I think he'll send letters out to contractors he's gonna have to come up with materials, cost, for the whole business, so.
Okay.
So it's not getting larger down where you're at then, especially if you're thinking about somebody else.
Yeah, we're not getting any extra space.
The desk and the bathroom, huh?
That's right. May have to. And the only other thing I have, I'd like to go into executive session to discuss personnel for 15 minutes.
Okay, I'll make the motion that we go into executive session for 15 minutes to discuss non-elected personnel.
I second the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are in executive session. It is for doing our yard maintenance, weeding, and et cetera, which, did you look them all over?
Yeah. I'll make a motion, we accept the bid from Logan and Landon Bear for the courthouse lawn and landscape care.
I second the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Do you have anything else this morning? You have anything else?
Nothing.
Okay, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
We are adjourned.
Sure.